Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Young103, and today I'm back with the next part of my Lord of the Rings online series. I have been waiting for the maintenance to end ever since it started today, just to be able to film this part. And now the servers were finally back up again. I do hope that I won't run into any trouble through this episode. And I did actually change my hobbit in another outfit just to fit perfectly into the Shire. So I hope you like it. Sorry if the cow is a bit annoying, she isn't as quiet as her name suggested. But I really like her, she is adorable. And yeah, with all that said, let's keep going with the prologue. I have been leveling a bit off camera of course, but
Might I have a word with you?
Begun the book quest or anything yet, so yeah. This is outrageous, Draw. I will not be satisfied until I receive compensation for my treatment at the hands of those black wolves. I've been most ill-used, and it is more than any hobbit would stand. A Sackville Baggins should be able to travel throughout the Shire and even into Bree if he wishes it, without danger of being abducted. And when a Sackville Baggins is promised gold, he had better receive some gold when the whole thing is done with it. It's only fair. I wrote this letter while you were off looking for John Brockenbook. It doesn't include the business with the Bergens burning Archet or that the ranger becoming so queer. But it's sure to be enough for old flour dumpling. Take my letter to Major Will Whitwood in Mitchell Delving. He will just outside the town hall, which will be to your left, surrounded by hedges, when you enter the town. Okay? So we are gonna bring Mundo's letter to the Major. I'm gonna speed things up by running at least. I'm not really in the mood for running. Now while I'm riding to the next stop, I did also quickly want to point out, of course, again that I do my leveling off camera. I think it's gonna be way too long of a let's play if I film every single quest that I do. But if you want to see me do something, some questing live, then definitely let me know, especially if you are also on the Lorelin server yourself. We could be doing some fellowships like the upcoming Barrow Downs around level 20-ish, I think. It is always really hard to find people on level that are on around level 20 for this quest, so if you want me to do something like that on stream, then definitely let me know and I will start looking more into the whole streaming live progress, because I'm definitely still a noob at that part as well.
How do you do?
Okay, so we just arrived. What's this? Oh dear, a letter from Sackville Baggins is not something you want to see. He's holding me personally accountable for his troubles in Breland. I wasn't even there. I never even been outside the Shire, and now I'm supposed to pay just compensation to his family. But he took no harm and was in Archet of his own accord. You don't happen to know why I wanted to be Major, do you? Because I seem to have forgotten. Okay, finish.
Stay and have some tea.
I've thought about Mundo's demand that I pay compensation for his ill treatment in Breland, Roar, and I'm not going to do it. We simply can't afford to pay money to certify a single hobbit for an experience that was his own fault to begin with. The Sackville Baggins have never liked me either. I think it was one of them that started calling me flour dumpling after the roof of town hall gave way and buried me in chalk, you know? I don't mind when the sheriffs call me that, but from the Sackville Baggins, it is just too much. The time has come to take a stand. I will not be bullied by the Sackville Baggins any longer. They can't push me around, and I don't mind telling them that. Well, actually, I'm a little busy. Run along to Bag End, north of Hobbiton, and tell Lobila that for me, will you? Okay. So... Oh, I still had another quest. Just deactivate that one. Where do I have to run? At the party tree. That's a bit of a walk, but I'm just gonna ride there by myself. Take some shortcuts instead of the stable master, I think. Okay. Almost here. Of course, it's night. Nice full moon, but I like it better when it's daylight. Okay. We're just doing the prologue.
Well, the call of some folk.
I've heard about the troubles my nephew Mundo went through in Breland. I assume you are here with the old flower dumplings coin purse to repay us for Mundo's hardship. You're not? What is this nonsense? Whitefoot doesn't have an ounce of sense in that fat head of his. Okay. It doesn't surprise me that he didn't have the courage to come tell him himself, but he'll regret it. I will go to Maisel Delving to see him personally and tell him in no uncertain terms what I think of him. What use is he as a mayor anyway, and what use are the bounties if for that what that matters? My nephew has gone through so much, and he was barely outside the bounds. Okay.
Hoy there, give me a moment.
Why do you even need a mayor, or bounders, or sheriffs, if they can't keep my nephew from being threatened and abducted and put through all kinds of hardship? The Sackville Baggins are a very important family in these parts. I have heard that there are goblins on the edge of the Shire. Goblins! If you ask me, you should stop running pointless errands to our fat major, and you should do something about them. I've heard that Wilcom Tunnelly, the carry supervisor is in Skerry, has seen goblin on the green fields. Talk to him and get to the bottom of this straw. Goblins. Okay, sounds like quite a long ride again. So again, I will just ride there myself. Sometimes it feels faster than the stable master, especially when you first need to ride back to get one. Sure. Okay. There. Just dismount. Be able to see the cow. I still miss the fact that you can see your cosmetic pets when riding your own mount. I mean, you can see them when you hire the stable master's mount, but not on your own. So I don't get that.
Just a moment.
Next victim. Nobilia Sackville Baggins has heard tell of goblins out in these parts. There have been a few sightings, it's true. My sister is convinced she saw, well, it's embarrassing. I suppose I can trust you though? Sure.
Might I have a word with you?
My sister Pansy is a good sort, but she can be rather excitable. When she gets an idea in her head, it stays there no matter how silly it might be. And before you know it, she's convinced half the Shire that it's true. She saw something out on the greenfields the other day, and she thinks, well, maybe you should better talk to her about it. Folk have seen goblins on the edge of the Shire, but try and talk some sense into her for me, will you? You'll find her wandering around the town square here in Skerry, steering the folk. I shouldn't wonder. Okay. So she should be here somewhere. That's the postman. Here.
Just a moment.
Hello there. There's something terrible happening in the Shire and you need to do something about it before it's too late. I was walking on the green fields, looking for flowers when I saw a squat little man in the distance. He was carrying a spear, and believe me when I tell you that he was a goblin. All of a sudden he dropped to the ground, and it looked to me like he was reaching into a hole of some kind. A rabbit hole, most likely. I was so scared I ran back here and told my brother that what I saw, but I don't think he believed me. The greenfields are out of northwest of here. Maybe you go look in those rabbit holes yourself. Don't know what it was looking for, but it can be good for the Shire. Search a rabbit hole. Okay. Oh. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so the rabbit hole should be here somewhere. Of course, I haven't out-leveled all the enemies here, so hopefully I don't piss anything off. I can't remember where it used to be, at least. I was kind of hoping to notice it quickly. Don't think I'm that lucky. Oh, wait, here. What does this one have? Not something carrying. Bring pointy rock to Pansy to Tunnely. Oh, so sorry if I pronounce the names wrong from time to time. I mean, English is not my first language, and some of them are really difficult in my opinion. But still, I try. Let's see. It says bring it to Pansy. Let's see what. Okay. Those was your brother that needed it. You found this inside the rabbit hole in the green fields. This is a goblin's tooth. This confirms my suspicions, Roa. It was a goblin I saw the other day, and not just any goblin, but old Golfimble himself. Again, difficult names. You haven't put it together yet, Bounder. A long time ago, the Goblin King, Golfimble, tried to invade the Shire, but he was defeated by Bandorbaras Took. The mighty bull roarer, in the own swing, bull roarer knocked off the goblin's head, and it went flying through the air and landed in the rabbit hole. Golfimble is back, and he's searching all the rabbit holes on the greenfield for his missing head. Hey, how can you look for missing head? This is terrible. You best bring this goblin to the Bounder's Brimstone at the watch office in Broken Borings, to the west of Scary. Hurry, Tara. Okay. A lot of walking in this kind of quest line. That's kind of why I chose to do it. Or concentrate only on this quest line, because it's so much work just by running back and forth all the time. But it's still very cozy in my opinion, at least. I do like to hear the story, and yeah. I never really done the book quest because of its XP, and mostly just because I like the story. But yeah, that's just my way of playing, of course. Here. What was it down there? Angry Hobbit? Not like him. Okay, here. I know one of them is the post office, and the other one is apparently the watchtower.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Why are you giving me this pointy stone? What? A goblin's tooth? Is this a joke? Pansy Tinelli thinks that Golfimble is wandering around the green fields, reaching into rabbit holes in search of his missing head. You think she would have mentioned whether the goblin she saw on the green fields didn't have a head to begin with, wouldn't you? It does seem like a rather important detail. No, I'm sure her eyes were just playing a trick on her. Golfing Ball is long dead and we've got no business upsetting people with talk that he has come back. Okay, oh, choose one. Anything medium armor that I can use? Sure, that one.
Please, stay a moment.
Halros. We have been under a lot of pressure lately from folk in Broken Borings. In the nearby villages complaining that Major Whitfoot hasn't done more to deal with problems in the Shire. Maybe we should make absolutely sure that Miss Tonelli's goblin is a figment of her imagination. There's a hunter of some kind who camps out on the green fields. His name is Halros, and for one of the big folk he seems to be a decent enough fellow. Show him that pointy stone of yours and ask him what he makes of it. To find his camp, follow the wall east out of Brockenburg. When it leaves the road, head off the path and follow the wall to the copse of trees. He might know what that stone really is. Okay. Of course, this one got bugged when I entered this house. Let's see. I hope I can find it in just one shot, but yeah. Follow some kind of hole. I mean, I always just run straight for it, but yeah, maybe in directions with it would have been easier to follow those directions, but sure. Can't be too hard and just run straight through the towards the ring. Luckily. Okay, here's Halros.
How can I be of service?
What is this? A goblin stewed? It is a pleasure to meet you, Tora, but I must confess that I have already come across goblins in the Shire, as you can see. This was just a scouting party, but there's sure to be a larger camp of the creatures somewhere nearby. We must deal with this threat before the goblins rally their courage to attack the nearby town. Okay.
How can I be of service?
While I'm not from the Shire, my kindred are sworn to defend the folk against all threats. I'm what the folk of Bree would call a ranger. If you would like to aid me in my task, you will have my gratitude, Roar. The goblin encampment must be somewhere to the north, but I have not yet had an opportunity to track these goblins. We should each set out in opposite directions and search the North Greenfield. If you find the encampment, thin their numbers as much you can, or thin the numbers as much you can. They return here to my camp. I will do the same. For the sake of the good folk who make their homes in the peaceful place, I hope we find the lair of this goblin straw. Okay. Let's put on this shirt. Extra protection. I already visited the encampment not too long ago while leveling. I did already do the quest that takes me in there, so yeah, just going back to kill of those 10 goblins, yes. Oh. That's not too hard. Now it's a couple days ago already that I played Warden less, so hopefully I'm not too clumsy at it already. Still not to think of playing Warden, in my opinion. I mean, I will get used to it eventually. So, oh. Luckily I'm leveled a bit higher than these, so they die easy. Oh. Not really used to the gambit part. this moment I'm also actually using an axe instead of a spear. I'm hoping to use a spear in the near future again, but yeah, it was the best weapon I could get my hands on. Somebody actually crafted it and sent it to me as a surprise. So I just used that one still. But eventually I want to go back to the spear, but then I can't use the apple basket anymore. I need a one-handed weapon to be allowed to use that one. So still. Oh. Okay, or more. This does actually help on the deed as well. And I haven't really worked on the deeds that are about the killing or the killing enemies part. So I have tried to collect most of the quest parts. So I've just been questing in the Shire to get the deed to be able to fulfill 75 quests or complete and get that deed. Got a bit too much here now. I was sure that one was pissed as well. Take him now. It's okay. Okay. He's bestowed. So there was like literally killed enough goblins. Not enough to complete all of them, but the first part at least. So yeah. I kind of want to complete all the deeds, at least in the lower level parts at the one time, but yeah, I take it as it comes because it's so much work most of the time, especially the quests. I mean, I had to do 75 quests in the Shire. I'm still not done with it. So hopefully the prologue still counts because I do have the postman quest left, so I can use that one also to fulfill the deed, but still, so much work. So I had more fun than actually effective leveling, but still, I always love hanging around in the Shire. So
Greetings.
let's see. You have returned, Ra, and not a moment too soon. I'm afraid to say that the goblin presence is much greater than I expected. There are already 2 camps of creatures in the green fields. The goblins are led by a chieftain, as you might expect, but I've come across something unusual. There are whispers that the chieftain reports to someone else. I've not learned the identity of this mysterious figure, but he does not seem to be a goblin, which troubles me. Finish now.
How can I be of service?
2 goblin encampments. I cannot understand what would bring goblins to the Shire after so long and in such numbers. Bonder Brimstone must be warned of the grave threat these goblins pose. Go to the watch house in Broken Borings and give him these tidings. Just head back along the wall and to the west. His town will be the first to fall if the goblins attack, so he deserves as much warning as we have to give. Warn him to be wary, however, not to wag his tongue too much. It would be more harm than good to panic these people. Okay. And back again to talk to the founder. Did I get... I think I don't have any bracelets on. Really feeling the sword, but the same isn't too important right now, at least. Goes down here. Already forgotten where to go. Oh, it bugged me again. Most frustrating bug, the pets. Okay.
Good day.
2 camps of goblins. Things are going from bad to worse, Troar. I was much happier when I thought Pensitonary was just seeing things again. What is happening to the peace and quiet of the Shire these days? You best go to Scary, down the road to east of here, and find out from Wilcom Tunneli what's going on at the quarry. I don't like the stories I'm hearing about this skull they found down there. I'm sure the rumors will just add to Pansies. Okay. Oh, it's all the same. Let's see. Scary, right? Yes. Let's see. Is he still in the same spot? Okay.
What do you need?
Welcome back to Scary, Dora. You want to know about the skull? Well, as it happens, my workers broke through a wall in the back of the cave down in the quarry, and a whole swarm of huge spiders came boiling out. As my lads were running from the cave, one of them noticed a skull sitting on a pile of a rock. I just know that the skull has got to be evil. Why? I bet it's what caused all these spiders to be quarry in the first place. Okay.
Can I take a moment of your time?
It looks like my sister Pansy wasn't too far wrong, after all. We've got a Golfin's head in the cave. You've got to go into the cave down at the bottom of the quarry and recover that skull. My lads mentioned that a strange mist covered the floor of the room where they found the skull. I won't blame you if you bring friends with you. In fact, I encourage you to do. The spiders have really made themselves at home in the quarry, and who knows what other evil golfing bull's head might stare up down there. Bring it up here so we can have a look at it, and maybe we can figure it out what's going on. I can actually increase the size. Nice. Okay. I really like being down there. So many enemies to piss off, but I think I'm just gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna jump right down. Oh, don't allow this, and go straight in, hopefully. Hopefully without dying. Okay. Bomb. Okay. I didn't discover too much about this cave because I was just farming the spiders I needed for another quest. Oh, sorry if I get lost. Maybe I should activate some of the morale parts just to yeah, buff myself a bit up. They're already quite weaker than me, of course. Level 11. Let me just put on that sword for extra strength. Not much, but... Did piss off a lot of spiders in this part last time, so I hope I don't do the same thing this time. Almost killed me that time, but see? Tried to kill the queen last time and then there came like 6 spiders at once. Plus I was lower level, so it was way too much of combat damage and I had to escape out of it running from the light. Go to this way. Apparently still has a lot of friends in here. Oh, everything. Even more? Oh my god. I'm messing with the gambits. I did the same mistake twice. Again, sorry. I'm horrible at this. Still so much to get used to. Should be just fine. I hope it doesn't do that. I can eat. Agility or hold on, agility. I'm sure it works, but it helps. And I can try to eat one of those. Not even sure that it's more danger left, but doesn't hurt. I have enough of both of the things, I think. Let's see. Don't hope, or I do hope not all of them will spawn back when I'm trying to escape out of here. Then I might just run for it, hoping I will get out alive. Gonna spam this ball. It's the best. For so long as I would help. Next one. And see this girl at least. So another queen. Do I have to? Okay. Please don't call up any more bodies. Okay. Activate the... Oh, I want to have my cow. I need the mental support of my cow. Quickly. Okay, I might just have gotten away. No, one respawn. It's okay. I'm not in the mood. Most likely will be one here that will get pissed or not. Okay, maybe I can. I'm stuck in battle. Can ride them over here. They will get pissed. Ooh. Hopefully I'm quick enough to not get thrown off the hole. Go. Actually go, of course. My bad. Ooh. Ow. Come here. The bounce will kill you. Let's see.
Just a moment.
You made it out of the quarry, Tra. I was a bit worried what with all the spiders about. I see that you found the skull. It's certainly a hideous thing, isn't it? I can't tell if it's a goblin skull or not, but it does seem to be missing a tooth. Missing a tooth? Oh dear. Fancy told me you found a goblin tooth in the rabbit hole on the green fields. This must be Golfinbull's head. Rolled all the way down to the quarry from the rabbit hole, and it landed in during the Battle of the Greenfields hundreds of years ago. You've got to take this to Brombat Foxtail at the Matham House in Reliving. Browa's club is on display there. And I do Rager old comfortable. I can't pronounce it there. This Golfinbull hasn't forgotten Browa's mighty club. He won't try anything while that's at hand. Okay. Quickly deliver that part. Or this skull actually. Let's see. Should be just up this little hill. Pretty sure if we have to go inside as well. Or if it's up to some side. Oh, it's up outside.
How do you do?
What did you say this was? Golfinbull's skull? My goodness, this is very significant and very significant find, draw, even if it does make for a rather unpleasant matum. This is a bit of a strange coincidence though, for Golfinbull's skull to appear on this particular day. I was consulted about Burroughs Club just a few hours ago. Okay, choose one. With light, that's medium then. Okay, new gloves.
Good day. Might I have a word with
Okay, I do think I have to quit the part here. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video, of course. And if you did, then give it a thumbs up. And if you want to follow this series, then don't forget to subscribe, of course. And I'm still gonna try to upload 2 parts per week from the book quest, at least. Until I either don't have enough time with work and stuff like that. Or if my level is going to run too low, because I don't want it to make it too hard either. I'm of course gonna try to keep up with the leveling as best as I can. And yeah, if you again want to see me level some bits live, then definitely let me know. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, of course, and I do hope I see you next time. Bye bye!